Hey guys, I just want to log on to my favorite app real quick and read some Tesla news. Wow, the Tesla CFO, he's leaving the company. Must be a lot of people in the comments like wishing him well on his retirement, right? That's probably what's going on. Let's read who's next. When the stuff hits the fan, I would like to see Deepak, who's this Tesla CFO, in cuffs too. He's part of the Ponzi scheme that has gone way too long. 99 likes on YouTube, that would be equivalent to like 10,000 likes. Seeking Alpha, 99 likes is ridiculous. Jeff Wing, who was able to survive Enron, so now they're comparing it to Enron. He was gone in 7 or so before the implosion. Jeff Wing is one of the 5 or 10 people that are most responsible. Deepak will probably be safe. Don't forget about Lou Pai. That guy made a fortune at Enron before he left and things fell apart. We got people out there comparing Tesla to Enron and calling it a Ponzi scheme. And the interesting thing about this is nothing new. I've seen shorts say this for a long time. I've seen people that aren't even short the company say that Tesla is a Ponzi scheme and Elon Musk. I've had family members tell me Elon Musk is over there running a Ponzi scheme. And I say, what is a Ponzi scheme? Let's look at the definition of a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme is a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns to the first investors from money invested by later investors. So I don't think people really understand what a Ponzi scheme is. To say Tesla's a Ponzi scheme seems a little misjudged. If they want to say, oh, Tesla's trying to cook the books or something like that, that's a whole different thing. But a Ponzi scheme, that's, I think, bad word choice to try to compare Tesla to Enron and say it's a Ponzi scheme or something like that, okay? Ponzi scheme is like what Bernie Madoff was running, where basically he was saying, oh, I guess such and such returns. He would take the money from people. He'd pay out the old investors. He lived a ridiculously lavish lifestyle, had like, $10 million homes and drove all the cars and had all the yachts and all that type of stuff. That's a Ponzi scheme. This is a whole different situation, okay? But Tesla's the most interesting stock probably in the history of the stock market and certainly of the modern day. And the reason being is the bear case is so strong for this stock and the bull case is so strong for this stock. It's probably the only stock in my 10 or 11 years I've been in the stock market now that has had this strong of a bear case and a bull case. And somebody laid out a full bearish case. I want to go through that. I want to point out what is not fair and what is fair about this, okay? And then we'll go into my bullish thesis, okay? So let's read the bearish case here. He says, would you invest in this company? 1, 17 consecutive years of losses. Number 2, CEO stripped of chairmanship for committing securities fraud. Number 3, massive executive turnover. Number 4, multiple rounds of layoffs. Number 5, DOJ, FBI investigating CEO. Number 6, shareholder lawsuits looming. Number 7, CEO called innocent man a child rapist. Number 8, CEO questioned company's viability. Number 9, $10 billion in junk rated debt. Number 10, trading at 12 times book value. The peers are trading at book value. Number 11, CFO just quit. Number 12, chief accounting officer quit and never replaced. CEO tried to dump company last summer. Number 14, government subsidies expiring. Number 15, competition rapidly intensifying. Number 16, 5% shareholders just hedged entire position. Number 17, one factory, no spare capacity, can't grow. Number 18, quality issues with Model 3 are surging, major servicing issues. Number 19, massively negative working capital. And number 20, $920 million bond payment maturing in 1 month. Wow, that is the bearish case in a nutshell right there. We got to talk about what is fair, what are fair critiques there, and what are not fair. And then we'll look at the bullish side. What are all the bullish points? Because both of these sides have very, very strong cases, okay? Let's talk about that first one, 17 years of consecutive losses. That's a fair critique, okay? Number 2, CEO stripped of chairmanship for committing securities fraud. That is not fair in my opinion. Obviously, he made a boo-boo there, but it wasn't like he was trying to boost up the stock so he could sell it or something. That's a whole different ballgame there. He didn't try to boost up the stock. He made a very bad decision, in my opinion, to tweet out that the company might go private. But did he try to tweet that up so the stock could go way up and he could sell out or something like that? No, okay? That's not really a fair critique. Number 3, massive executive turnover. That is a fair critique. Number 4, multiple rounds of layoffs. That is fair. We had 2 in 2018 alone. Number 5, DOJ, FBI investigating CEO. That is a fair critique, although I'm not sure how much they're really doing it anymore. Number 6, shareholder lawsuits looming. Not really a fair critique there. All companies pretty much have shareholders coming after them. especially if a stock falls a lot. Number 7, CEO called innocent man a child rapist. Well, I don't know if he really called him a child rapist. He called him a pedo. And, to be fair, Elon was attacked first by this guy. So, but it is a fair critique at the end of the day. Number 8, CEO questions company's viability. He did in an interview that was probably poor choice. A quick interview that was done by HBO a few months ago. Number 9, $10 billion in junk-rated debt. That is a fair critique there. Number 10, trading at 12 times book value. Peers trade at book value. That's not a fair critique in my opinion, because Tesla doesn't really have any peers. If you're going to say Ford is a peer of Tesla, in my opinion, it's just not a fair comparison, okay? Let's put it that way. Number 11, CFO just quit. That is fair there. Number 12, Chief Accounting Officer quit, never replaced from my understanding. They haven't replaced him yet, and that is fair. I think he was only there for a month. Number 13, CEO tried to dump company last summer. That's not fair in my opinion. Although Elon Musk said basically he was thinking about taking the company private. It wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm taking the company private, I'm leaving the company, and I'm going to sell all my shares or something like that, okay? So that's not really a fair critique there. Number 14, government subsidies expiring. That is a fair critique. Number 15, competition rapidly intensifying. That is not fair in my opinion, because I'm looking and I'm like, where's all the competition at, okay? Number 16, 5% shareholder just hedged entire position. That I'm not going to go on either side because I haven't looked into that yet. I'll have to look into that. Number 17, one factory, no spare capacity, can't grow. That is not fair in my opinion. The Gigafactory in Reno is going to have a massive amount of space, okay? Number 18, quality issues with Model 3 are surging, major servicing issues. That's not a fair critique, although Tesla has had some servicing issues in the past and still to this day. I don't think it's necessarily surging. He's making it sound like, oh my gosh, all Model 3s have some issue with it and they need to be taken in right away. Like, I don't think it's surging. I think just Tesla has service issues that need to be fixed, but all cars have service issues. That's just the bottom line, okay? I bought a new car in 2018. I think I've already had to take it in the shop a few times for different things here and there, okay? Number 19, massively negative working capital. That is a fair critique, although it's getting a lot better. Number 20, $920 million bond maturing in 1 month, and that is a fair critique. So as you can see, there's a very strong bearish case. You can see why some people, I can clearly see why some people would short this stock, okay? I can clearly see it. Like, it does have a lot of questions. It does have a lot of, Elon Musk has done a lot of questionable things in the past. He's made a lot of promises that didn't come true. He's said a lot of things that, didn't come true. I understand, like why somebody would short this stock. But on the flip side, you have a company here that has one of the biggest bullish cases you can possibly make for any stock in the entire stock market, okay? Let's just go through them. I just made 16 points here. I probably could have made 360 points if I really wanted to. Number 1, electric vehicles are the future. If you don't believe electric vehicles are the future, I don't know what to tell you, because they are. And guess who's the number 1 brand name in electric vehicles? It's Tesla without question. It's Tesla, and then I don't even know who's number 2. Who's number 2 in electric vehicles? There really isn't one. Number 2, Tesla has a dominant electric vehicle market share, like ridiculous. If you look at the market share Tesla has in electric vehicles in the United States of America, like, it's ridiculous, guys. Number 3, autonomous driving is the future. Cars that basically drive themselves. The number 1 brand name in autonomous driving is also Tesla, and they're also logging way more miles out there than any other company out there, okay? Number 4, battery technology is a future. Being able to store mass amounts of energy in batteries, whether you're talking about homes or cities or anything like that, battery technology is a future. Tesla's the number 1 brand name in big battery tech. So if you're thinking about electric vehicles, you think Tesla first. If you think about autonomous driving, you're thinking Tesla first. And if you think about battery technology, storing energy, you're thinking about Tesla first. And they have huge competitive advantages. They're way out in front of everybody in these big sectors that are just going all in their favor, okay? Number 5, they grew revenues 100% plus over the last 2 quarters, year over year. That's insane, okay? Very few companies can do that are doing billions of dollars on revenue. Tesla's one of them, okay? Number 6, profitable quarters back to back. They just reported. Number 7, company has a strong mission. Obviously, Elon Musk wants to get all cars out there to be electric cars and expand solar products and all those type of things, be able to store that energy in your garage. Like, he's got a big mission there in front of it. I think that's a big important thing for a company. Number 8, the company has a cult-like following. Tesla has a cult-like following behind it, like, people that just love the brand to death and just want to see them succeed. People that maybe aren't even shareholders like myself, that are just literally just fans of the company and want to see them succeed in a million different ways, okay? Number 9, the CEO has a cult-like following. I don't think there's any CEO in the entire world that has a following like Elon Musk has. Steve Jobs had quite a cult following around him, but I'm not even sure that Steve Jobs had quite the following like Elon Musk does, with people so passionately behind him. It's incredible, okay? Number Number 10, the China factory is being built and will be 100% owned by Tesla. That's supposed to be the first car factory that's going to be 100% owned by any automaker out there that's a non-Chinese company. So that's big. Number 11, Model 3 is just getting expanded into Europe and China. You know, as of right now, it's just been a US car. Number 12, Gigafactory is a big competitive advantage. Basically, not only the Reno Gigafactory, but all the future one, that's a big competitive moat. That those are huge infrastructure projects that usually cost billions of dollars. And the way Tesla sets them up, it's just a big competitive advantage for the company, all right? Number 13, competition hasn't showed much. Like, what have we seen for competition that's like, whoa, that's a big Tesla threat out there? What company is doing numbers? Like, if you look at every single time you look at Tesla numbers, they just dwarf anybody else in the electric field. It's incredible, really. 14, competition hasn't focused on EVs until really the last couple years, which is way behind the ball because basically Tesla's been focused on this for over a decade now. So you're talking about a company with a decade, basically, you know, runway in front of all these other guys. That's a huge competitive advantage. Number 15, Tesla wants to disrupt the energy sector, not just in the home. So they want to obviously make solar roofs and things like that. You can store the power in your home, but also for cities. That's a big disruption in the future. Number 16, Tesla is getting close to producing affordable electric vehicles for the masses. We've seen Tesla prices start to come down and down and down. They got the Model 3s now that, you know, you can get them for somewhere around 40-ish thousand, 45, 48,000. Eventually, at some point this year, they should have the $35,000 model out, which is going to be a huge step. Model Y should be coming, or at least shown off at some point in 2019 and actually go into production 2020, which should be a somewhat affordable SUV. And they're just going to keep bringing that price down over time to maybe they can get it into a level of, you know, these electric vehicles maybe selling in the high 20s or something like that, which then you open it up to a massive, massive market because not everybody can afford $50,000+ Teslas. Remember, most Teslas historically have been $70,000+ when you look at the Model S and the Model X. $70,000+ for those vehicles is a very niche market there. As Tesla can expand and produce, you know, $30,000+ vehicles, that makes a lot of people be able to buy them. So both sides have very strong cases. I can understand if you are super bullish on this company, as I am. I can understand if you're super bearish. They both have such strong cases. It's the most interesting stock in the stock market for that very reason, because there's no other stock in the entire stock market that you can say has this strong of a bearish case where people really feel like this is going to be a bankrupt company, where it's a Ponzi scheme, where it's going out of business, and this many people that think, you know, this is going to be a company that's worth $500 billion in the future or $1 trillion in the future. There's no other company in the entire stock market that fits that criteria. Some companies have detractors and some companies have fans, but none that are as passionate as these two forces are, guys. It makes it so interesting. It makes it a fun stock, and I think it's a stock why even if you don't own it and even if you aren't short it, like, you just have to pay attention to it. It's the thing you just got to look at because it's just so interesting, guys. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your opinion is down there in that comment section. Let's get a little debate going down there. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.